Welcome back into CBS Sports HQ. We are just 2 weeks away until the NFL Combine. Look, I mean, people get sad when the season ends, right, Chris? It doesn't feel like it ever ends.
It's a quick turn.
These guys are getting ready for, well, I can't say what I was going to call it here on air, but for the NFL Combine. And it is always so much fun. Ryan Wilson, our draft expert there. Look, we love this time of year. And we're going to talk about some of the guys coming up, some of the big stars we're going to see, including Travis Hunter, Heisman winner, two-way star. We've been wondering exactly which way he's going to go. He is now listed, Ryan, at the Combine as a DB. Is this what was expected of Travis Hunter heading into this position?
First things first, Amanda. Underwear Olympics? Is that
okay, I wasn't going to say it. I was going to get in trouble for saying it. I think you can say it.
No, you can say that. Yeah. Yeah, or if you're from the 1800s, the Bloomer Olympics. We can go any number of ways with this. Yeah, there you go. In terms of Travis Hunter, right, so he's listed as a defensive back. When the NFL released the names of the 329 folks, I believe, that are headed to the NFL Combine, that means absolutely nothing. You can only be listed at one position because the players at certain positions work out on certain days, and there could be some logistical overlap. And in that sense, expect to see Travis Hunter take part in the DB drills. Also expect him, according to some folks I talked to around the league, to take part in the wide receiver drills, because those are the two things he does really, really well. Who knows? Maybe he'll throw some passes. He could probably be the best quarterback in this draft if he wanted to. But no concerns about what his NFL future holds in terms of the positions he'll play. I imagine he'll get drafted, quote-unquote, as a cornerback, and then whichever NFL team takes him will use him in a package of plays as a wide receiver. Don't expect to see him on the field 120 snaps like he was each and every week for Colorado. That just doesn't feel sustainable in the NFL, no matter who you are. But expect to see a lot of him, and for the team that takes him, whether it's a team like the Patriots, for example, or the Browns, to use him on offense and defense, because he is an absolute game changer in terms of locking down other teams' wide receivers and in terms of taking quick passes to the house, which he did frequently for Colorado the last few years.
We know all teams, all eyes are going to be on Travis Hunter, and everybody. Look, we're known for Ohio State, the Ohio State. Congratulations to y'all. Putting out some elite wide receivers. There's a couple of names headed to the Combine. Anybody in particular you see that could emerge as that breakout star?
So, right, there's Emeka Egbuka. Oh, producer Noah made the graphic. I was going to quiz you if you could remember some of the other great recent Ohio State wide receivers. There you go. You get 100 on the test, producer Noah and Amanda. Marvin Harrison Jr., of course, was truly special last year, the first wide receiver drafted. Jason was the first wide receiver drafted a few years ago when the first wideout did not go till pick in the 20s. Garrett Wilson, of course, now in New York without a quarterback, and Chris Olave, when healthy, is really, really good for the Saints. But Emeka Egbuka is going to be the next guy in line. And by the way, one of the names we forgot, Jameson Williams, who had to transfer to play at Alabama from Ohio State. But if you talk about professional receiver, Emeka Egbuka checks that box. And a few years ago, Amanda, it felt like a done deal, even at this point, that Najee Harris and the Steelers were going to be a couple. That's what happened. That's who they drafted. It feels like the Steelers and Emeka Egbuka are again going to be a couple come draft night on April 24th. They need a wide receiver badly. He does everything at an extremely high level. He's not as super sexy as a Marvin Harrison Jr., perhaps in some aspects of his game, but he is so incredibly consistent, and that's what the Steelers or any team that drafts him in the first round needs, and that's what he'll bring to the Combine in a few weeks.
We also have Jeremiah Smith from OSU headed to the Combine as well. How close are those two wide receivers? I mean, do you have one just above another, or is there a pretty good distance?
So here's a fun fact, Amanda. He is only a freshman. He's not quite headed there yet, but he is so good. He is one of the best players, not only in college football, but one of the best wide receivers to come out, or to be in college football and come out in a few years from now. Ever. Like, I'm talking, he's better than Marvin Harrison Jr. He's going to be in the Randy Moss sort of conversation. Even coming out, Jamar Chase wasn't considered this special, but Jeremiah Smith, physically, the things he's capable of doing at age 18, and if he's going to get stronger and faster, that basically means he's probably from Krypton, the planet the Superman grew up on, I believe. I'm not a DC nerd, but I think that's right. But, yeah, I wish he were there, because I would love to see him run in the underwear Olympics, quote-unquote. But I think 2 years from now, when he does come out, he'll be the preemptive first guy taken favorite because he is so incredibly special.
Remember when all the 12-year-olds went after you on TikTok for your draft? Now I'm going to have them coming after me for saying that he was headed instead of being just a freshman. I promise you guys, for the most part, I know what I'm talking about. Let's go to the quarterbacks here. Cam Ward solidifying himself, as that QB1. We're seeing Shedeur Sanders kind of drop. You also have Jackson Dart. Not sure if he's going to be a day 1, day 2 guy here. Walk us through the top quarterbacks headed to the Combine.
Yeah, the media feels like they've anointed Cam Ward as QB1, but we'll see. Like 12 months ago, no one was talking about Bo Nix being the 12th overall pick and then doing the things he did with Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. So we'll see how it plays out. For me, Cam Ward is QB1 because he's a little bigger arm, a little better athlete, a little bigger in terms of his measurements than Shedeur Sanders. But Shedeur Sanders has a chance to come to the Combine. We'll see if any of these guys throw. We're at the point in the process, Amanda, where they don't have to because they're the number 1 and number 2 guy, depending on who you ask. But it'd be nice to see, just to get a chance to compare them to one another and to the other guys there. And then, of course, to the far right of that graphic, Jackson Dart. Great season at Ole Miss, sort of got lost in the mix. That Ole Miss team was absolutely stacked on both sides of the ball. And NFL teams love him because he is a elite leader, and you know that cannot be undersold. And his teammates rally around him. I talked to about 3 or 4 guys from Ole Miss at both the Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl, and to a person, they talked about what a great dude Jackson Dart was and how he got that team where it needed to be. And then on the field, he's consistent. Like, he doesn't have the biggest arm, but he's a good athlete. He makes good decisions with the football. He gets the ball into the hands of his playmaker, and he does it play in and play out. And there are a few people tougher than him on planet Earth. He played through a lot of injuries last year and still played at a high level. So I don't think he's a first rounder. I didn't think Bo Nix was 12 months ago, Amanda, so we'll find out together. But I think the next 2 weeks are going to be big for him in terms of proving himself as compared to Cam and Shedeur.
Look, and he was absolutely phenomenal in his rookie season. All the love to Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. We've had a beautiful spotlight put on running backs, both in the NFL and in college. All eyes are going to be on Ashton Jeanty here. He was really, as the season went along, look, he was shut down more and more in those games. What are teams going to be looking for when they look at Ashton Jeanty when it comes to the Combine?
Well, I'll ask you, Amanda. You tell me, how tall is Ashton Jeanty? Because you've actually talked to him on the sidelines.
I've asked you that question. I wondered if it's going to be an issue. I'm 5'4". He is not much taller than me, and I had on boots.
So, right, that's going to be the question. Do you care if your running back is 5'6"? I personally do not care. As someone who is sub 6 feet, team sub 6 feet, let's go. And I think you saw him play in person. Could anyone tackle him? No. It did not matter whether he was 6'4" or 5'4". He is truly special, and he's the best running back in this draft class, and it's not even close. And there are a lot of dudes, including Cam Scadaboo and Amarian Hampton, as we see there on that graphic, from Arizona State and UNC, respectively. So I don't care what he measures in at. I think that once the ball is in his hands, everything changes. You're not breaking him to the ground. And if he gets into the open field, all you're going to see is the back of his jersey because you are absolutely not catching him. And one of the benefits to being a shortish running back is that you're low center of gravity. It's hard to see you when you hit the hole. Linebackers and safeties can't find you like this, and then off to the races you go. Derrick Henry is 1 of 1 in that he's 6'1" and 230, whatever. Those guys don't grow on trees either. So I'm zero concerns about how tall or short Ashton Jeanty may be because of the way he played last fall for Boise State.
Look, he's such a good dude. And it's like Saquon. Like sometimes he gets shut down, but when he gets loose, I will tell you what, I have never seen somebody fly across a field faster in college football than I have Ashton Jeanty. Ryan, thank you for bailing me out and telling everyone the official name of the NFL Combine. Ryan Wilson getting ready for the NFL Draft not that long from now with the First Pick podcast. He hosts that now with Mike Renner because Rick Spielman decided to go back to the NFL and leave us all out to dry. Just kidding. This is our first show together.
Yes.
I think it went great.
Great working with you.
We can blame anything that went wrong on our producer, Noah.
That's what we always do out here on the set.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, Amanda, we have more HQ coming up after this.